What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Joe's Random Stuff. It's me, Joe Vargas, the creator of the channel, and let's get into another video. So today, I'm actually going to talk about a very important topic, so stay tuned. Please like and subscribe and stay till the end. I want to talk about a very important topic that I'm honestly been, contemplating lately, and I've been talking about obsession. Obsession is kind of what drives me. I'm really obsessed into what thing is winning. So I've always wanted to be winning. I've always wanted to be a winner. And every stage, I never want to lose. And when I do lose, it kind of hurts. It hurts personally. And for me, I wanted to just kind of talk about it because I know it's there for a lot of people, the obsession of winning and how much that means, how healthy that is, my experience with it and what everybody can do out there with it. So welcome back. Let's get right into it. So what's up, guys? So, talking about obsession, it's kind of this thing for me where it's like obsessed to winning. It's like when you lose, obviously you might try to play cool the time with somebody that beats you, right? But in there, you're like really mad, bro. You're pissed. You could have won, you're mad. You're like, you can't stop thinking about it. It just keeps coming, whether it be sports, a bet, I don't know, like anything. You really just mad and frustrated that you didn't get it. So, you talk about that and you kind of bring that into perspective. But when I think about it, I feel like I'm one of those type of people, when I lose, maybe I might show it a little bit, but mostly I just try to play it cool, try to play it off. But, I just man, I'm mad, I'm frustrated, I'm upset because I don't really, I don't get to, I'm not there. I don't feel like I always feel like I should win, I always feel like if you have me, there's a chance of winning because I just bring that mentality, whether it be sports, basketball, soccer, football, whatever it may be, I always want to win. And I start to wonder, is that really healthy? Is it really good to be so obsessed to winning where you just are broken when you lose? You really you're just defeated, you're devastated, man, you're broken, man. It takes a couple days, then you get back to normal, but obviously it hurts and you're frustrated, man. You just want to win. And I feel like that's for me because I remember playing basketball, playing ball, I lose. And, whenever I lose, I always rematch. I never want to sit there and go with the loss. I always want to go home with the W, that's kind of like me. I'm never going to be I want to go home with the loss. I always want to go home with the W. And I wondered if that was the same for others. And I know there's a lot of people who are really obsessed with winning. I know there's some people who are just really cool about it. They don't really care, man. Honestly, you could for real, they could for real, just have lost really bad. And they just go and they're just so chill about it. They're just, they just keep, I don't know how they do it. Their composure is just so calm. It's man, they just so quiet. They so chill about it. So it's crazy, honestly, how those people kind of do it. It's just confuse the heck out of me because I honestly am just pissed when I lose anything in life. I never want to lose. I got a mentality that when you got me, you win, like I already said. So, when I actually wonder, is this healthy? I'm gonna get to that because is this actually healthy? Sitting there and wondering every day, is this obsession that I have, is it healthy? Is it good for me? Because I don't really know, is this good? Because for me, honestly, when I lose, I sit there and I'm mad. I might show it sometimes, but if I can keep my cool, I keep it a T, whatever, it's fine. But I really, inside, I'm man, I'm pissed, I lost. It is. And, I may not show it. Sometimes I do show it, honestly, but, I may not show it. So, that's what it is, honestly. So, I kind of just come and, I try not to show it. But, sometimes I do. But, honestly, deep down, I'm pissed, we lost team game, individual 1-on-1, team game 5-on-5, anything I lose, chess, tennis, basketball, football, but mainly basketball too, because I don't know, I like it a lot. So, if I lose that too, I'm just frustrated. Anything involving that too, and basically everything. I just have a competitive mindset. I just want to win everything that I do, just that mentality. But I kind of realized over time, it's not really that healthy, man. Every time, I lose, I'm just defeated. I walk, I can't really think, I can't really process, I can't really understand, I'm not happy, I'm in a different mood. But I realized, over time, I'm trying to work on it, like I said, I still, upset, furious, man. But, you know, I'm trying to change it to where it's kind of like that, you know, like when you lose, obviously you get mad, but you don't just get mad. You're like, how can I get better? You know, how can I get a W? And you don't just get mad, but you got to convert that into steps that you can do to get a W. It's what I've been trying to do, you know, not just sit there in that mentality. It's about the obsession, right? So when we're talking about that obsession, you know, you want to obsessed with getting a W, and you got to do everything you can to get a W. You're just not frustrated. I feel like that's where the healthy factor comes. If that obsession is healthy, you're talking about like where you're honestly, you know, you understand you lost, you know you lost, and you take it and you say, yes, I lost. Fair and square. You don't get mad about it. You say I lost. But you know what? I'm using this this furiousness toward becoming the best version of myself, you know, just becoming the best version of myself by working, putting in the hours, putting in the effort. And if you do that, you're going to see results. You may not see W's right away, but if you keep doing that, you're probably going to see W's coming sooner or later, because honestly, hard work pays off. It's true. And you got to work smart as well. So you got to figure out the best ways you can to maximize your time, you know, and figure out how you can get the best at it, find all your resources, you know, access. If it's a sport, you know, keep training every day. You know, you don't even need a trainer. You just got to train, you know, just work your butt off, you know, and you can honestly do it, you know. So if you're talking to me, I feel like obsession is healthy to a point where you're going to use it to drive yourself, where you're not just going to use it to pull yourself down. And that's what kind of was a factor for me, where I realized I can't keep getting frustrated and mad when I lose, but I can only use this and use it to help me. I can use this frustration to motivate me to become better. And I think that's what obsession is. Obsession shouldn't be where you get mad. It should be where you use it as a key to become better and a factor to become better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. You know, if you tell me like, man, I struggle with that and you got better, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.